Dear friends, you're welcome to 100% Tatarstan. I'm Guzel Burnaeva, head of Convention Bureau of the Republic of Tatarstan. I'm greeting you here in the unique digital space in which our republic created to demonstrate its experience in different directions. And today we're going to talk about tourism and about the Institute of Developing the Business Tourism with the help of Convention Bureau. We get a lot of calls, a lot of applications, and we decided to collect the answers to the most frequently asked questions here on the 100% Tatarstan, and to answer these questions, which are important for our colleagues in different regions. So, let's begin. What is Convention Bureau? Convention Bureau, it's a easy to understand and transparent instrument on the international tourism market, promoting industry, attracting different events. So these are the main goals of Convention Bureau. We work as a supermarket of the important information which is so necessary for different stakeholders. And from the beginning of from the opening, the first Convention Bureau in Detroit 120 years ago in the United States, these institutes appeared all over the world, in Europe and Asia, in America. And nowadays we see in Russia the formation of Convention Bureaus. And a good example is the work of our colleagues from St. Petersburg. Nowadays, Convention Bureau work in such regions as Republic of Tatarstan, where we are now, in Yaroslavsk district, Ural, Bashkortostan. Why regions need to have Convention Bureau? Well, we fight for tourists. We try to get destinations compete, and the business tourism is becoming more and more important. Business tourism brings in 3 times more money than regular tourism, and the business events, conferences brings in 4 times more money than just entertainment events. And these events bring in not only money, but they also provide jobs. For example, one job in the Congress industry organization area brings in about 6 extra jobs in adjacent areas. Congresses, events, conventions, they all keep busy. Exhibitions, entertainment industry, transportation companies, translation bureaus. They give jobs to all auxiliary services which help to organize big events. And especially important is that business events can help in a low season or off season when infrastructure is not busy. And because if you invite somebody in June, it is a very good time for these business events, because June we don't have a lot of tourists yet in June. International events, it's a great place to be integrated into the international expert community. It's knowledge exchange, developments of competence, export of competences, and of course promotion of the region. For example, we won the tender for the lung diseases for 2024 year, but our specialists work together with their colleagues, together already 4 years before the conference, before 2024. Can you imagine the huge potential of promoting scientific competences for Tatarstan on the World Congress? Our country and all regions of our country have huge potential for developing business tourism, because nowadays share of Russia in the International Congress market is less than 1%. Just think about it. Well, we understand that Convention Bureau is important for regions, and a lot of them have desire to organize it, but all of you come across simple questions. First of all, before you start organizing Convention Bureau, you have to conduct research of the landscape of the region where you plan to open it. Well, I'm talking about Convention Bureau. First question is, how convenient is location for the region, for the future contractors, for the future stakeholders? What number of international flights you have in this region every day? How can you get to specific destination, to special territory? How well transportational infrastructure is developed? Do you have modern airports? This question will be one of the most important ones for the organizers, and it will be also asked in your bidding campaigns when you start bidding for the events. Because organizers always ask, how can we fly? How can we get into? Does it take a lot of time? Is the way to use simple? And second question is, do you have a modern expo center, exhibition centers, or at least do you have conference hotels? And what is the maximum capacity of your destination site? So it will help you to understand the range, the size of the event. For example, if you have a conference hall with a capacity of 500 people, so you understand that you cannot hold event for more than 500 people for the plenary. If plenary meeting requires 3,000 people. Second question, how is your hospitality industry developed? Participants of the international congresses, they travel a lot, following their events, moving around the world, and of course they're very sophisticated in terms of not just business opportunities being offered, but they also want to see new things, new destinations, they want to get new impressions. They want to have good cuisine, good quality food, and we have to understand, do you have such infrastructure to host such visitors? The next important question is the industrial orientation. What are the strong sides of this area? What industries you have? What are the strengths of the local experts? What trends are developing but promising in future? And so why this region can be interesting for the international community? Because when you choose destinations for certain events, organizers usually ask a question. What new can be learned by the visitors? Does this territory have something to show or share? And that's an important question which you have to take into account when you start bidding campaign, when you start promoting your region. And one of these most important questions, what is the uniqueness of your region? Sometimes among the organizers of the event there is a saying, just name a region or characterize this region with one word, and tell us about the uniqueness of your region using just one word. Why it unique? Why people should come here? Why is it interesting? What's the difference between why is it different from other areas, from its competitors? This question would allow you in future to shape up your promotion strategy of your region. So, dear friends, we have conducted a short survey of your landscape. And when we answered the questions, let's move on to the legal side of in what form can you can organize the Convention Bureau? Well, in any shape, in any legal form. In Russia, the most popular ones are such forms as the autonomous non-commercial organization, the non-commercial partnership, or the government budget organization. It all depends on the region. And we don't have one-size-fits-all solution, no universal recipes. Every region decides for themselves how to organize the Conventional Bureau. As for financing of a Conventional Bureau, you can have 100% budget financing. You can use the co-financing with the private money, or you can use completely private money when you join top players of the industry and organize Convention Bureau, which will work on work for the people who organized it, so and provide the infrastructure of people who organize this convention bureau. Well, you have to find your own solution. We don't have cookie cutter solutions. No, we don't have it. And when we talk about whether a convention bureau can be independent entity or it must be included into some bigger organization, again, we don't have universal recipes. Convention bureau can work as an independent unity, or it can work side by side or with some other institution, for example, with the organization which works with the convention, any kind of work. It can be investment agency, it can be economic development agency, or Minister of Tourism. Well, it all depends on the area your convention bureau will be oriented. As for Republic of Tatarstan, so the founder and is government and it's investment agency. So we work very closely with the investment agency of Tatarstan. We work very closely with them, and it allowed us to organize a dialogue with agencies which organize bidding campaigns, and we also got the permission to provide government guarantees for the organizer. This is a very important point for choosing destinations for the international events. Maybe one of the most important ones. And one of the most important resources, of course, is people, professionals. Well, we need professional people, especially in the regions where we don't have such people, where you just start developing this trend of commercial bureaus. And the regions of Russia, it's difficult to define what kind of professionals you need. Well, you need people with experience of organizing different kind of events, the experience of developing the exhibition events, the PR, promotion, working with the government, sales, and management of, and then of course knowledge of English. And you have to know how to conduct negotiations, how to build up long-term relationship with the foreign partners. Work in the convention bureau, it's idea generations. You have to learn how to begin to do things from scratch. And you have to know how to promote new things, new ideas, because every promotion campaign, it's a new product, it's a new idea, and you don't have universal solutions. If you want to get an event, if you want to understand, you have to offer unique solutions. If we talk about the structure, about the number of people who you have to have in your bureau, we recommend that in the beginning you need 3-4 specialists, but later on and along the way the number of people you have to increase. Now we move on to the next question, the budget, which is very important for the regions, and this question is always asked. What salary you should pay for the professionals? So what are the main costs? Well, I cannot tell you about the salary. You have to choose your own solution, but I have to say that the specialists which come to a convention bureau, if they're with experience, so they're highly qualified people, so you have to take it into account. As for the main expenses, it's, of course, the money you have to pay for your people. Second is promotion, business trips, participation in exhibitions, the organization of the press tours, making souvenirs, and of course developing the information content. For example, on your portal for your region, the website of your region, your website in which you should upload all necessary information for potential stakeholders of the different events. And the other expenses The bidding campaigns, it's video production, presentation materials, the participation in different kind of bidding events. Depending on the region, so the additional expenses can be the renting office, the ambassador programs, and here is every region has its situation. Now we move on to the next issue. When we started, when you understood what you want, you get the money, you collected the team, you have to formulate a strategy for promotion. Every region has individual strategy. And so far as you have to keep into account the industrial potential of its uniqueness, its social, industrial development plans of the region for the next several years. If you understand, after that, you have to get a set of instruments how to achieve these goals. For example, our colleagues from St. Petersburg actively use such instrument as ambassador program. And this is one of the key instruments for them. Tatarstan, in this case, is an active participant for the international communications, and being an important player in the international market, Tatarstan uses its international connections. Dear colleagues, we have a lot of questions which we have, and these questions are about the bidding campaigns. Where to find, what to find, where to find these interesting events. So everybody's asking these questions, and this question is asked by convention bureaus which already exist. One of the key resources, of course, is the database ICA database. This is a sensation for the International Congress and Conferences, on where the members of this organization are the Convention Bureau for the World, as well as Experience of the Republic of Tatarstan. We use ICA database, an auxiliary tool. Most of the information we get from communication with our experts from our previous experience of bidding campaigns. We rely on our development strategy up to 2030, where we prioritize the key directions of our development. We'll also take into account not just main topics, but it's a big illusion to think only about the we conduct a lot of analysis. We listen to local experts. We analyze capacity of our hospitality industry, and we take into account many other factors, such as potential of each and every event for every region. But there is one question which is unchanged. We have to build up the long-term communication with our experts. It is not a secret that Convention Bureau has to bid together with local experts who represent a specific association in the region. Quite rarely you can do it independently, so that is why you have to have good relationship with the experts and explain to them what your goals are.
Dear friends, I would like to thank you for your attention. The Republic of Tatarstan Convention Bureau is open for cooperation, and we are always ready and happy to help you with organizing convention bureaus in your regions. Tatarstan has accumulated very valuable experience of organizing whole chain of congression and exhibit activities. On top of that, Tatarstan is regularly hosting various international events. We have a director of social and sports programs and director of international programs with large competence. Selection of events, development and packaging, implementing the financing of various projects, organizing expositions of the region and the world and Russian exhibits, technical organization, building respective presentation stands. Dear friends, you have been watching the 100% Tatarstan. On behalf of the Convention Bureau of the Republic of Tatarstan, I'm inviting you to our hospitable republic. See you in Kazan. Thank you for your attention.